Good morning, this is Shane McIntyre. This is the third video observation for course 676. This is week 8, and we are revisiting the APERS rating scale that we first looked at the beginning of this course. Just a reminder, we had a choice whether we wanted to do our observations in the classroom or if we wanted to do them during an in-home therapy session. And I did choose the in-home therapy session out of convenience. I will admit it. My youngest son has autism, and we do ABA therapy in the house 15 hours a week. So it seemed kind of the natural thing to choose that because it was much easier to be able to step back and observe therapy than it was to get out of my classroom and get into another classroom at work and be able to observe there. Something that I noticed is I went through the 5 areas that we focused on this week that I didn't expect, but that there's a big difference between the way the in-home therapy works versus the way it seems to work in the classroom. I've noticed that our in-home therapy naturally just seems to fulfill a lot of the requirements so you could say that it's a strength that we just naturally tend to do well. And so I was thinking about what it would look like if I was doing the observation in my own classroom at work. I have a few students that are on the spectrum. The majority of my students are other health impaired or SLD, but I do have a few kiddos that are on the spectrum. I teach high school, I teach government and economics. And so it's a lot different looking at it from that perspective and seeing the way communication works and those types of things. We've got a lot of parents that just don't communicate. I can't get a hold of them. I don't know. I think it comes with the territory, honestly. Being a high school teacher, teaching seniors, a lot of them have been in this process for 13 years, 14 years, and I think they're just tired of hearing from the teachers at this point. So as I look at how we did with our in-home therapy, I'm also going to compare it to how I think my classroom would fare looking at this rating scale, because I think that kind of makes an interesting comparison. So here we go. The first area that we looked at was social competence. Again, like I said, we did really well in this area. All 3 of them, it's a strength as far as our in-home therapy goes. The majority of all of our therapy that we do at home is focused on communication and social interaction. My son has to be, doing all of these all throughout therapy. That's what therapy is all about for us. As far as, making sure that we are constantly trying to promote social skills, it's constant. It's every week. New social skills are being introduced. Once they're mastered, our therapist is really good about finding a way to just briefly, without making a big deal out of it, but revisit the social skills during every session to try and make sure that he's still maintaining them. And having the peers involved. Well, I've got 5 kids total at home, plus I have a grandbaby, and so there's a lot of interaction. His siblings, they're involved in the process. They've been taught over the last year and a half of therapy how to interact with my son. So we do well there. But then when I think about it from the classroom perspective, we don't focus as much on communication as far as improving his communication. I mean, yes, there is a lot of communication, especially teaching government and talking about politics and all those kinds of things, but we're not really just focused on improving the students' communication. Social skills, I don't teach a lot of social skills other than, I do have one boy on the spectrum who has a very difficult time minding his own business, and that's something that I'm actually always trying to work with him on and reminding him, of not interfering with other people, butting into their conversations and tattling. He loves to tattle. Even as a senior, he just loves to tattle when he thinks someone's doing the wrong thing. So I would say when it comes to that, my classroom is, it's a moderate area of strength, but it's definitely not a major focus for me. And I really don't work on having the other students involved at all, really, with these areas. So I would say we don't really have a formal peer social network. I think that might just come with the territory of teaching seniors. They're pretty, aloof, and teamwork is really not what they're all about, unfortunately. So, that's just kind of what it is. The next area was personal independence and competence. And so this is an area actually where is the only area where I thought it was really a challenge for us in the house. As far as, promoting personal independence, my son is only 4.5. So we don't have a lot of personal independence. We've done a little with visual schedules in the past, and we kind of abandoned those. The only thing that we really do, like to work on transitions for him, so he can kind of manage himself, is we use a timer for pretty much every transition, just to let him know, okay, you've got 3 minutes or you've got 5 minutes, and then he can watch that. He knows what's coming up next. And then, again, I would say that, just due to his age and the fact that I was doing in-home observation, we're really not implementing a lot of self-management strategies. The closest that we get to is when he does engage in negative behavior, we'll say, okay, you shouldn't have done this, and we'll ask him, what should you do? And usually that's, make an apology or something like that, but we don't do a lot. And in the classroom, there is more of this. The students are much more independent, and we put it on them to maintain and manage their own behaviors. But again, there's a big difference between working with a 4-year-old and working with seniors in high school. The third area we looked at was functional behavior. And this was a very strong area for us at home. All of his therapy goals are driven by a functional behavior assessment, an FBA. Before we even started therapy, it's the first thing the BC did. He came in, did the FBA, and then once we had our target behaviors and the reasons behind those target behaviors, then we created a plan. And input from family, all of the therapy is done with input from us. We're there. We're involved. The moment something's not working, we see it and we can stop it and fix it. My students at work, we don't necessarily have an FBA for all of them. Only the ones that have behavior plans according to their IEPs. And a lot of times the only input we get from the family is at the IEP meeting. So that brings us naturally to family involvement. Just because of the home therapy, we have regular communication. We're there all 15 hours a week. The only time I talk to my parents at work is usually, unfortunately, when there's a problem. I would love to pick up the phone and just make positive phone calls, but there's just not enough time to do that as much as I'd like to. And then also looking at family involvement, the therapist is constantly providing information for us as therapy's happening. I mean, as it's happening, we're getting feedback. So that's a real positive. And like I said, again, at work, most of our feedback to parents is through the IEP meetings. There's just not enough time to have more communication, unfortunately. And then the last area was teaming. I will say that I think that this is an area where it's a strength both at home and in the classroom. We see our BCBA once every other week. We sit down as a group with the therapist, the BCBA, we talk about things. As far as me at work, I'm constantly involved with our IEP team. Even though maybe we're not in meetings, I'm always talking to our speech therapist, I'm talking to OT, I'm talking to the department chair, I'm talking to the other special ed teachers or the other gen ed teachers. We're in constant communication. So I'd say that's an area of strength, both in the classroom and at home. The one area that didn't really work for the in-home therapy is about paraprofessionals. We don't have any paraprofessionals at home. In the classroom where I work, all of our paraprofessionals are trained, at least working with special ed students, maybe not so much autism though. So I think that's an emerging area of strength. But I really enjoyed working with the APERS scale. It gave me a nice opportunity to step back and be an observer for what I'm doing in the home. So I hope you found this as interesting as I did, and I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.